Alright, I figured today we'd look at some vintage-ish Chryslers from the 90s and 80s. Quite a few back here, actually. There's an old Dodge Daytona, which I can't really get to. But right here we have, I believe this is a Plymouth Reliant K-car. This one obviously has been off the road for a very long time. And I am not walking in that to go over there, so we'll go over this way. Has a bench seat. Lots of spider webs in there. A couple of the original hubcaps. They didn't even put Chrysler logos on them. I do like that though, that's kind of cool. Wonder how hard it'd be to get that thing out. Don't know. Yeah, there's actually a couple old Chevys over here too. That's for another story. Another Dodge Spirit. There's the Daytona. This has been here a long time. Like that Oldsmobile hubcap. Looks like they've been storing hubcaps in here. Ah, yeah, your typical 2000s era wannabe gangster hubcaps. And that has a CV shaft in it and a cup holder. Oh. That's like the one I have. I don't really need another one of those. Might take this though. Or at least stash it away and come back and get it. And we got a LeBaron. 2 of them. And a K-car wagon. A bunch of Dodge Shadows. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. This one's an ES. This one is also an ES. What's interesting about the Dodge Shadow, well, I mean, I've always liked the Dodge Shadow personally. It's one of my favorite 90s Chryslers. This one's got red interior. This one's actually in pretty decent shape. Has a sunroof. This one does not. The LeBarons. These used to be freaking everywhere. These were like one of the most popular cars when I was a kid. Chrysler LeBaron. And Plymouth Sundance. Used to see these a lot too. Always liked the Dodge Spirit and the Plymouth Acclaim with the K-car wagon. It's an avocado green. Not gonna lie, this would be cool to have if it would open. Ow! Fuck, that hurt. There goes my knee. Well, that really freaking hurt. Watch this be unlocked. Oh, no, it's not locked. Ooh. But what's interesting about the K-car wagon is these early ones didn't have windows that rolled down. They didn't, as you can see, there's no button. There's an ashtray. But you had these little vent windows. I think GM did something like this too with the G bodies. But yeah, the windows would open like that in the back, and you close them like that. Try not to bust your knee on the door though. Oh man, that hurt. This, where's the buffer? Oh, it's right there. Can I get it to pop? Yes, kind of. God, that's heavy. Has a Mitsubishi engine in it. So some of these had Mitsubishi engines. Some of them had Chrysler derived 4-cylinders like that Reliant back there. This one obviously has the Mitsubishi engine. Air conditioning max charge. This is kind of a cool little car. What engine is this? Ouch. Vehicle emissions control information. 156 cubic inch PCR 2.5. I think that's what it says. God dang, this hood's heavy. Then we got the Plymouth Acclaim. This one has, I believe this one's the Chrysler version of the 2.4 liter, whatever the heck it was. Probably says on that hood. But I believe this is like a 2.5 or 2.4 liter 4-cylinder. There's like a brand new oil filter on it and everything. Your oil fill. Probably ain't got no oil in it. Oh, come on. This is so hard to do one-handed. Is there any bitty distributor, yeah. And probably my most hated car, the freaking Dodge Caliber. God, I hate those things. Well, one of my most hated cars. I like the van though. I'd drive that, or the Grand Am, or even the Escape. But these, no, I would never touch one of these. They are where they belong. There's another one. That one's an RT. Now the SRT one was kind of neat, but otherwise these are just, I would avoid them completely. I mean, most people would say to avoid this too, but these are kind of cool for the novelty factor. They were never fast, they were never, the greatest car in the world, but this is technically the car that saved Chrysler, and then they ended up back in the crapper with stuff like that. You got this cool old thing. I think this is an old Chevy. I don't know much about this stuff this old. There's an old Hudson Hornet though. Anyone that's interested in these Chrysler vans, there's a whole bunch of them over here. These are all 4th gens except that one. So this is like 2001 to 2007. I want to say this is earlier because the front grille changed after 04, I think. This is an 02 3.3 with the custom dashboard. Airbag went off. I don't know why the airbag went off because it didn't look like there was any damage. Always like the column shifts in these. You gotta love that custom dashboard. They even blocked off their air vents for some reason. There's a bag. You got your running shoes, gas tank, bench seat. I actually wouldn't mind one of these seats for the garage. Be kind of cool to have as something to sit in. This one's pretty far gone. This is an 04. So maybe they didn't change it in 04. I think it was 05 maybe. This is a late 90s, early 2000s, like 98 to 2000 I believe. This is kind of like the one my grandma had. She had a white one like this. Town and Country. Don't know if this one's the limited or not. But that's what she had. She had a few of these old vans. She only had 2 of that style. But she had a couple 1st gen Caravans. I remember a lot of good memories with those. This is the 05 refresh front grille. If you notice, well, there's not one next to it, but the other one had more of a egg crate kind of insert. This has more slotted. Then they also redesigned this from this style, which I liked, to the more kind of uglier one with the badge on the top and the bigger headlights. I never cared for that design. There's a tree on it. Another Town and Country. Some old Chrysler Concords. There's another Caravan. This one's the short one. This is probably, if I were to buy one of these newer ones, I'd buy one of these shorty 4th gen ones. Inside of this one, which is a little bit nicer than the last one we looked at. These seats, I always like the seats. Anyway, old Chrysler Concord from the 90s that got T-boned pretty bad. Dodge Intrepid. Always liked the Dodge Intrepid. There's 2 of them. This one was sold at my buddy's car lot. Bet you I have a video of this somewhere on the channel. It's definitely not doing very good nowadays. Okay, it's not even attached. It's a 3.5 liter V6 that was transversely mounted, but it was front wheel drive, which was always very odd on these Dodge Intrepids and the other cab forward LH cars. I think this one's probably the same, 3.5. Some of these have 3.8s, I think. I don't know what this Concord has, or if I can even open it. Oh, 3.3, which was basically the engine that came in some of those vans. I believe it's the same engine anyway. It looks pretty identical, except it's mounted differently. And there's a windshield. There's a Chevy Craptiva. Ecotech. Oh, that's cool. Buick Regal. Busted window, but still cool. It's the earlier one with the more blocky looking dashboard. Can't open that door. Yeah, there you go. Someone busted the back window out. Yeah, it's pretty cool. More Chrysler Concords. White vans. PT Cruiser. You know, some people really hate these things. I can't help though, I kind of like the stupid things. They're not great cars, but I always thought they were kind of cool. Especially if you get the turbo one. They're freaking... I think it's one of the most ugliest cars ever, but, you know, for what they were, these things used to be freaking everywhere, and they still kind of are to some degree, but always thought the PT Cruiser was kind of neat. Not something I would willingly go buy, but if someone gave me one, I would enjoy it. Chevy Aveo, ew. Buick Regal again. Another Caravan. Ford van. Buick Regal again. This one, I kind of like these wheels on this. 3800. That someone blew the whole top end off somehow. Cadillac DTS. Another Caravan. Very sketchy looking express van. Ford Festiva. Yeah, this van's kind of gross. Someone got their use out of it. Saturn Outlook. Ew. Basically a Traverse before they killed Saturn. Speaking of Traverses, That's where they belong. Escort. PT Cruiser. Eh. So there's that, I guess. Hope you guys enjoyed this vlog.